all. I'm your host, Kelly Nagel, and for the past 2 weeks, my Teen Think Tank Project co-founder, Matt DeSantis, and I have been introducing ourselves, the Teen Think Tank Project, and our upcoming programming. But this week, we start to unpack why the Teen Think Tank Project is needed by meeting the students it serves and delving into the societal issues that trouble them and ultimately drive their commitment to change the world they live in. Throughout the rest of season 1, we talk to these future advocates and agents of change about the issues that are most concerning to them and how they currently propose to solve them. Today, we sit down with Jared Cannon, a 16-year-old National Honor Society student at Archbishop Wood High School and Teen Think Tank Project member. When not working his part-time job at Wegmans, Jared is a member of the Student Council, Community Service Corporation, and his school's theater program. But most importantly, he is a passionate advocate for mental health awareness and services. In this entertaining and informative conversation, Matt and Jared talk about how he perceives the mental health landscape, stigma surrounding mental health, and his desire to change the way we address mental health issues. Enjoy.
Jared Cannon, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Of the members of our research group cohort, you are certainly one of the busiest members of the research group, and a good amount of that is surrounds your employment at Wegmans. What do you do there?
So I worked for about a year to a year and a half as a cashier, and then with the pandemic and everything, I was home, and then I came back, and they had a position at the customer service desk. So I was talking to some of my friends who work over there. They were like, oh, it's a great opportunity. You learn so many different things. Like, you should really work back here. So then I put in a form, and now I work at the customer service desk.
You're the guy when I've got to return my can of fava beans or my coupon is expired, but I really want that extra 25 cents off of Twizzlers. Like, you deal with me?
All of it.
That's great. There's two things, as I mentioned, that maybe this says a lot about me or provides some insight to who I am. There's two things that I love about this factoid. Is one, you're getting ready to celebrate your second anniversary there. So that means that you've been working there since you were 14.
Yeah, I turned 15 as I put in the application.
Okay, so it must be 15 years old is the minority employment limit in Pennsylvania. Fair enough. I think that is great because that is so industrious. You're busy, right? You're an honor student, you're a National Honor Society member, you are part of the Community Service Corporation. Like, we went through your bio, super, super busy.
Yeah.
Do you just have that gear that says, well, I've got 8 to 12 hours of downtime in a week, let me go get a job? Or is it you love capitalism and you love commerce? Is it, hey, listen, I'm a productive member of my family, I got to do my part. Let me go out and get, like, what is it? What's the driver behind going out and getting a job at 15 years old?
I really think I just wanted to be more independent and not rely on my parents, just because I feel so many other people my age is always, oh, my parents will take care of it, I'll have them to rely on. But for me, it was, they're not going to be there when I'm older. I need to learn how to do it now. So let me go out, get a job, work hard, make my own money so that I can put it back into what I love.
Yeah, see, that's awesome because I connect on several levels with you guys and as part of the research cohort. I was industrious, I was high achieving, I was a honor student. But the difference between that high school version of me and you in reality is I would say things like, I want to be independent, I don't want to rely on my parents, I know what I am doing. And then I would just be like, all right, I'm done knowing what I'm doing. Can I get a ride? You know what? I am independent, but can you help me be independent? Mom, can I get $20 so I can go buy, fill in the blank? So when you talk about this idea of village, right? It's a concept that resonates with me, and I understand that. There's an old adage, the it takes a village to raise a child, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. Keep on going with your cliches. Is it a physical village, or is it a mentality that we're in this together, that we need to support each other?
I feel if we can all come together just where we are now and just show support for mental health and trying to come up with different solutions for mental illnesses, people who have mental illnesses won't be seen as different from other people. This way, mental illnesses should be on the decline, and mental health will be on the incline, and it'll be seen as something good instead of something bad.
I buy it, and I'm hopeful for it. The struggle that I see and the uphill battle for this fight is going to be that, in addition to fighting that disease, you're also fighting a stigma surrounding that condition. We talked a little bit about cancer. It's hard enough to battle cancer, but imagine if everybody always kind of looked at you and pointed the finger at you because it was your fault. There's something else you could be doing to prevent that. Oh, you have cancer? Go for a walk. Listen to some classical music. Get some fresh air. But mental health doesn't work that way. Mm-hmm. There's a stigma attached to it. But is that stigma spread across all demographics? Does that stigma exist? Am I right? Am I seeing it correctly? And if it does it affect everybody the same? Is it spread evenly amongst all demographics?
So yes, there definitely is a stigma. I feel when people hear, like this person has anxiety, or they're depressed, they'll get over it, just watch a funny video, or just go outside, hang out with friends, and that'll get rid of it, you'll be fine. Well, no, what happens after that? Then they'll just resort back to how they were before. And you're right, mental illnesses don't discriminate. It affects people of all walks of life. So 1 in 5 adults in the US are affected by mental illnesses in some way, shape, or form throughout the course of their life. That's 20% of the population. So just think about how many people that is. How many million people are affected by some form of a mental illness? And then from that, 1 in 25 adults, so about 4%, have some type of serious illness. So then, like I mentioned before, mental illness is unfortunately on the rise in teens. From ages 6 to 17, 1 in 6 children deal with a mental illness of some type. That's just children alone. That number is way too high. There needs to be something we can do. And there's a stigma around it that, there's nothing you can do. It's just part of life. Well, there's got to be something we can do. These numbers are too high. There's got to be a way where we can get rid of the stigma and help reduce the numbers so that mental health is on the incline. No, I can't think of a time where somebody really helped me understand what mental health was until I learned that some of my friends were dealing with it. It's once you know someone who's dealing with it, then its importance and relevance goes up. So then that made me become more invested in it. And that's how I feel that I've learned so much about it.
Are you seeing improvement in any aspect of the landscape? Are you seeing improvements in attitudes of the general public? Are you seeing improvement in resources and educate, like anything? Is there anything that's headed in the right direction?
There are more treatment options that are becoming available. from what we already have. There's inpatient therapy, there's outpatient therapy, there's medications within reason, there's alternative therapy like yoga, meditation, there's equine therapy with horses, which I've heard is actually pretty successful. There's just seeing a therapist, there's peer groups, and it's just, there's things that already exist where people can seek help, but I feel nobody really talks about it, and mental health and all the different aspects of it until it's already too real.
So that idea about conversation being an entry to progress, right? I think that speaks to me universally as a conflict resolution specialist, as a mediator, as a professional problem solver. I always look to see where the problem started. And 100% of the time, the problem started at a point of miscommunication or failure to communicate, differing expectations of reality, and then problems exist from that point on. So I agree wholeheartedly that all problems can be solved with dialogue, with communication, with awareness. You're saying that it's improving slightly in the mental health arena. Obviously, it still has a way to go. How do we ramp it up? How do we change that idea that, or how do we instill the idea that talking about it is important? Communicating about it is the key to solving the problem. How do we change where we are to get to where we want to be?
I really feel that the people of today are influenced by media. And with some research, I learned about Kristen Bell, who has an essay published in Time magazine, where she talks about her own personal struggles with mental health. And just hearing from someone like Kristen Bell, she's famous all across Hollywood. Someone like her who people look up to, who they might follow on Instagram or on Twitter just to see what she's talking about. Just to see that someone like her is struggling with something that other people, like everyday people on the street, struggle with. It's just, it encapsulates that mental health affects everyone. It doesn't discriminate. It affects people of all walks of life. I know she's helped get the conversation started. And then there's Simone Biles, gold medalist at the Olympics. She's an incredible athlete. She also struggles with mental illness. It's just the realness when these people talk about it makes it seem like it's so much more important, like there's a call to action. And I feel that these two women especially have helped get the conversation started for more people to speak out about their own issues. And these women have done so much just to help spread awareness. And with awareness comes conversation. And then with conversation comes a solution.
I like that. You better trademark that here on the podcast before somebody steals it.
Matt, great conversation with Jared about mental health and the stigmas that are limiting our embrace of mental health services. It's a topic I'm incredibly passionate about, and I wholeheartedly believe we need to talk more openly about mental health needs and services. Jared brought up some great points, and in order to dig deeper into these issues, next week I'll talk to Chelsea Williamson, a licensed clinical social worker who works with high-risk adolescents. So please remember to subscribe and download next week's episode for the continuation of our important and timely conversation. For now, I'd like to thank Jared Cannon and my Teen Think Tank Project co-founder, Matthew DeSantis, for the engaging conversation. I'd also like to thank all those who made this podcast possible. our wonderful production team, the George Milton Group, and Winnie the Moog for our theme song, Success of the Whole Team. Most importantly, I'd like to thank you, the listener. Let us know you're listening. Subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. And follow the podcast at problem_pod. For more information on today's topic or to find out more about social justice programming for exceptional teens, please follow the Teen Think Tank Project at teen_think tank. Until next week, I'm Kelly Nagel.